Hello guys, welcome here to Tinkle Sports Talk. I want to say first off, thank you to all the veterans who have served in our military. I don't believe I said that last show, so that's why we want to start off by saying that.
Probably not.
Yeah, but it is Veterans Day weekend, technically, because if you think about it, Thursday was Veterans Day, now it's the weekend. I'm just saying, technically this weekend would be Veterans Day weekend.
Well, yeah.
I'm saying if we want to go into the technicality side of things, we'll go with that. But anyway, what a week in the NFL, but we'll get to that in a moment. We're going to recap Week 9. We'll have our Week 10 predictions, and then, of course, a tinkle on this. But, of course, we start off with the fact that NCAA basketball has now joined the party of active sports that we can discuss. And that everyone can watch, obviously. So, the season opened up on Tuesday. I know Syracuse played. They won big. But, of course, it was a no-name opponent. So early on, Gonzaga, UCLA, and Kansas were listed as the favorites to win the national championship. One thing they're forgetting, though, is the defending national champions, the Baylor Bears. Is that fair to forget the national champions who essentially dominated the season along with Gonzaga?
Who knows? Probably, yeah. But I look at it this way too. Don't also count out the schools that are typically always the good ones, and don't discredit that a lot of the jeez, I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, sorry. Don't discredit the teams that didn't really get very far last year, and also don't discredit that. I think having fans in the stands is really going to make a big difference this year than opposed to last year.
Well, keep in mind, a lot of colleges didn't have fans in the stands last year. I know some of the tournament games, I believe, had fans. I believe the national championship had a severely reduced capacity. But again, we're talking Indiana from last year. They may have very well had no crowd. So,
right.
But the fan advantage is going to make a difference this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's already made a big difference in NBA with NFL. Clearly, teams were better last year without crowds. I mean, but I think NCAA is going to benefit big time off of it. And honestly, Kansas is usually always in there. Gonzaga, UCLA is in there. But yeah, I think that they are snubbing Baylor, and you can't snub your defending champions because you don't know exactly how they're going to go into the season. Yeah, it's a big target on their back, but you can't be snubbing the defending national champs because you just never know.
Exactly. I mean, Scott Drew is a hell of a coach. He's proven that over the years. He came in at Baylor's lowest point. So I give him credit for that. So I like Scott Drew as a head coach. I think he's honestly the best, or one of the best in NCAA right now, and one of the more underrated coaches. Kansas, let's face it, every year they're in contention, but they never make it all the way. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. I don't buy them just yet. I want to see more out of them. I know they bring in some great recruits, but again, can they finish the job is the real question. Duke, I would actually put as a favorite because it is Coach K's last year, so everyone's going to be motivated to get him a national championship to go riding off into the sunset with. But I would say, though, Gonzaga is always overrated. It showed in that national championship that you could argue they probably didn't deserve to be there. Because they did not play well in that national championship. And it shows when they play Power 5 schools, they're not this insane, ungodly team that's just not beatable.
Right.
So, we saw a bunch of great sleepers last year. Will we see, who do we look at as the sleepers so far?
I think you're asking the wrong guy because I'm not big into is I don't know. I guess a lot of the ones that were last year. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. All right. Well, then this is where I step in. So I am gonna actually say it. So Oral Roberts, I think, is without a doubt a sleeper this year. Not because I like to say the name, because I actually think that they are legitimately, they got the top scorer in college basketball right now. Trying to think of his name. Oh my gosh, how do I not know his name? That's scary. But Max Obamas. They've got him back, the 6-foot guard. He's a junior. No doubt he's hungry. I think he's going to help them make another run at it. And not to mention, it's going to boost Paul Mills' coaching resume for when these big colleges at the end of the year decide to get rid of their coaches, some of them. So I would even put Oklahoma on that list. Oklahoma men's basketball now has Loyola Chicago's head coach. But to be honest, I don't have Loyola Chicago on my radar this year. Okay. I don't know. They got a new head coach. They lost a few key players, so I don't know if I put Loyola Chicago in that discussion. I hope they get there because I like seeing them in the tournament. To be honest, I think Oral Roberts is the biggest sleeper right here because Max Obamas had an offseason just to get better. And that's scary because, again, he was one of the top scorers in the nation last year. Now, one guy doesn't make a team, but one guy certainly helps a team quite a bit.
Right.
All right, let's move on to the takeaways here. I guess I'll start since I think I let you start last time. I need to start keeping better track of this. All right. Bills took a dent in the road. There's no denying that. I think they went from undisputed favorite to now a serious contender. I wouldn't say they fell from non-contender. I think it's just the AFC is Darwin's theory of evolution here.
Right.
Okay. It's slowly becoming that. If you paid attention in 9th grade science, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, Darwinism.
Yeah, Darwinism. That's what the AFC is. It's, survival of the fittest there.
Yeah.
And let's just face it, round robin wise, AFC has become any given Sunday. Any team could beat anyone in that conference.
Well, yeah, of course.
The Jags proved it. Hell, the Dolphins proved it on Thursday night. Did we not say on this show that we thought that the Ravens were going to blow them out?
Yeah, we did.
Boy, we lost our asses on that.
Yeah, I know. I was just actually saying to my parents, because I was watching a little bit of the first half, Brissett absolutely was sucking.
Brissett's
shitting the bed.
Here's the thing. Don't write off Brissett as a backup quarterback just because of his performances this year. Look at how he doesn't fit that Dolphin scheme. Plain and simple. I really think he doesn't fit in there.
And that was like, watch. he's gonna get pulled for Tua. Tua's gonna be in there. The whole him being super hurt and being the backup is just a ploy. So then the Ravens had no game plan for Tua. Well, clearly that was the game plan. The game plan was, okay, Brissett, you want to end up sucking? All right, we'll take you out, pull you out of the second half, and then let's put Tua in. Tua came in there in the second half, and literally the culture changed.
Yeah.
They were behind Tua. And then every Dolphins fan's like, what the hell just happened? You mean to tell me we're actually going to beat this team that we should have gotten our asses spanked by?
Not to mention a team that's owned you at least the past 4 years.
Yeah.
At least. I mean...
So, if I look at anything about the AFC, the Ravens, who I thought could have been one of those good teams heading to the playoffs, I gotta look like the kind of team that, they look good in the regular season, they're just gonna do crappy in the playoffs. It's the same old Ravens team as always.
Yeah. But
yes, Buffalo took a dent in the road, but look at it this way. They still held Jacksonville from not scoring a touchdown. So give them talk crap all you want. You still have to give all the respect to the defense on that.
But again, you got to give respect to the Jags defense too, because the same can be said about the Bills, I believe. Did they not score a touchdown in that game?
No, they didn't.
Okay. And of course I didn't watch it, so...
No, they did not score. Neither team scored a touchdown. It was 6-9.
And the first Jags win in 420 days on American soil. Just thought I'd throw it out there. 6-9 and 420 were fully represented in that game. So
I know.
I just want to throw that out there. 6-9. That's what Urban Meyer was shooting for when he.
My God.
Hashtag respect the grind. All right, not funny, but as far as the Titans, are they now the team to beat? Because they've beaten the defending AFC champions. They beat the Rams. I mean, yeah, they lost their ass to Arizona, but they have beaten... Look at what they've beaten so far this year. They have beaten a lot of good teams this year. I mean, they even beat the Bills. So, I mean, can we make this argument that they may be the best team to have... I mean, the NFC... Let's face it, there's 3 super teams in the NFC right now. We got the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Packers.
Yeah.
Easily.
Wow.
Any one of those 3 is going to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Now, let me just say this right now about the Titans. It's all fine and dandy that you can do that in a regular season. I'm just going to tell you this now. They ain't doing shit in the playoffs. Simple as that.
I mean,
they did this last year. Looked so good in the regular season, and when it mattered most in the playoffs, where were they? Nowhere.
I'm just pointing out they did beat some really good teams, and injuries weren't a concern. So that's just what I will say.
I'm just gonna say this now. It's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
You were like this last year.
But keep in mind...
Until you can prove it into the playoffs, you're not the team to beat.
I'm sorry. I disagree here. I think this team is different from last year's. I'm telling you now. Not to mention, there is a slim probability, but there's still a chance that Derrick Henry comes back.
I'm saying that they could very well be in the AFC Championship game, but like I said, if you look at teams that have been in there, look so good in the regular season, and then when it comes to the playoffs, it just doesn't matter. I hate to say it, there was a reason why the Chiefs were in an AFC Championship game, not the Tennessee Titans. Yes, I know last year they were a hell of a lot better than they are this year, but still, they still had about the same kind of defense, just their offense was overpowering. This year, it's just everybody has found ways to stop Mahomes.
Yep, and let's face it. I will tell you, last week my takeaway was that Ryan Tannehill had a test. My takeaway was Ryan Tannehill had to prove that he is the quarterback of this franchise and that he can be just as effective of a leader. He didn't prove it in that game against the Rams. I don't think he solidly proved it, but I think AP proved something in that game. AP proved that age is just a number. I'm telling you another thing is if they keep him around and Derrick Henry's active, like in the locker room, like with AP, imagine the stuff he can learn from a 12-year vet, or like a 14-year veteran of the league, or whatever, how many years he's been in. 1,000, I don't know. But imagine what he can take away. I mean, Derrick Henry's already a good running back, but now he's got someone who's arguably one of the greatest of all time.
Well, yeah.
In the locker room with him. Imagine what he can take away from that. This is a win-win for the Titans right now.
Right.
Because now Derrick Henry can take his current game and bring the old school with it. Okay, imagine if, like, AP tore his ACL or something and they brought in the next best running back in the league of the last 10 years. Would you not pick up a few tricks while you had him?
Oh, yeah.
So, that's all I'm going to say. Again, because the AFC is Darwinism, that's why I'm pointing out that I think right now the Titans are the favorite. Because they beat off every good team so far in the AFC. Based on Darwin's theory of evolution, survival of the fittest, sort of thing, they've been the only team to prove it so far. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, the Bills have proven it against a few teams, the Chiefs namely, but, you know, they still got more to prove to themselves than they do to the league. I think the league still shows that they're a top team. But again, they got to prove it to themselves at this point with the Chiefs being down on their luck.
Like I said, I'm going to say this now, I'm going to say it again. It's all fine and dandy that, Tennessee's defense has also showed up. No, don't get me wrong. But it's always what defense that wins championships. And it's all fine and dandy. Yes, their defense has really showed up. But sometimes they value more on their offense than they do their defense. Hence why they don't see much of the promised land. That's why I say, Buffalo's offense and their defense has been hit and miss.
Of the contenders, they don't have the worst defense in the world. Okay? The Chiefs' defense, #Swiss cheese right there. They have the worst defense, so they're probably going to be the first one out. Plain and simple.
Well, yeah.
Okay, you can bring in washed-up Melvin Ingram all you want. You're not going anywhere. But anyway, my second point, though, because I don't want to spend too much time on my first one. I've spent enough on it. Rams signing OBJ. It does nothing to boost their Super Bowl odds, okay? So to all the Rams fans celebrating, oh, we got OBJ, hey, it's all fine and dandy. Yeah, great for you. OBJ hasn't done anything since he smoked dope on a boat with Justin Bieber there. Okay?
I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say this. No, OBJ looks like a freaking bum.
He is a bum.
He looks like somebody that could, like, pass for, like, a homeless dude. And I'm not trying to say that as a bad thing. It's just, like, just the way that he looks, the beard, just I don't know. It just, like, apparently his image is not one of the things that he cares the most about at all.
Did you see that Jarvis Landry said, "See you in the Super Bowl, brother"? Yeah, you will see him in the Super Bowl, Jarvis. Probably from your couch.
Let me tell you something. Jarvis might have gotten the last stolen stash of OBJ there, because let me tell you something. The Browns ain't touching the Super Bowl. Definitely not this year, and probably not for the next few years, unless they can get their whole offensive, the whole team decisions turned around.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, because let me just take a timeout from my points here. You said the Titans ain't coming close to the Super Bowl. You said the Browns ain't coming close. Who is coming close in the AFC?
To a Super Bowl?
Yeah, who's gonna make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC? Because you've already shit on the Titans. You've already shit on the Browns.
I don't know. I mean, the season's still young, even though it's like, what, week 11?
It's young, but you're saying two teams that are basically... I wouldn't say the Browns are the team to beat. I mean, the Browns are an underdog. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you there, but I'm saying with the Titans, though.
No, if I'm looking at any teams that have, that might be ready once it comes to, like, the postseason, I don't know. I mean, the teams that beat will probably be the Titans and the Bills. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you're saying the Bills beat the Titans the second time around?
Oh yeah, of course, for sure.
All right, you heard it here.
Buffalo.
You heard it here mid-season.
I heard it. You heard it here that Buffalo ain't taking that loss lightly.
All right.
That's the loss that they needed to have happen to finally go on the whole ring the bell and be like, you know what? It's time to get serious now.
All right.
So if I'm any team, you better watch out for the Buffalo Bills for the next 7 weeks.
All right. You heard it here first. I'm gonna save this clip too. Just in case. Just for our own record archive. But, anyway, I'll get back to my point, though. Sorry, I'm losing my earbuds like crazy. So OBJ does nothing to boost their odds here. I mean, not just because OBJ is a bum, but because the Rams' odds can't get any higher than they already are. Okay? The Rams are, without question, probably the team to beat if you take Arizona out of the picture. I've
already stated that I really do think it's going to be the Rams and the Cardinals in the NFC Championship game. There's no denying that.
I think we're both on the same boat here, where we say that one of those two teams from the NFC West is coming away to the Super Bowl.
All right. If you really wanted to hear my early predictions of what's NFC and AFC Championship game, the AFC is going to be Buffalo and Tennessee. The NFC is going to be the Arizona Cardinals and the Rams.
Yeah, that was implied by what you said, but yeah, sure, we'll go. But, I'll skip ahead to my final point after saying that obviously it's going to be someone from one of those two teams from the NFC West representing in the Super Bowl. This actually adds on to that point. Sean McVay is in the race for head coach of the year, and rightfully so. But I will tell you, he will lose it to Cliff Kingsbury. In my mind, Cliff Kingsbury has already won coach of the year, and we're not even halfway through the year. Actually, we're past halfway through the year. Okay? What Cliff Kingsbury has done to that team to bring them from a mid-pack NFC team to a contender in 1 year, and not to mention, the only big signing you got in the offseason was J.J. Watt. That's impressive. And I'm telling you, Kyler Murray is having himself a breakout year. He's playing the best football he's ever played in his life. DeAndre Hopkins isn't necessarily having the best year. Oh, let's not forget as well the midseason signing of Zach Ertz, and he's essentially going to rejuvenate his career there.
Yeah, of course.
I'm telling you, Cliff Kingsbury went from being a guy who might just be on the hot seat to now being the guy that's going to be coach of the year.
I know, it's funny how that works.
You just watch it. I'm telling you, unless something happens in the next few weeks, my mind isn't changed. And here's the other thing. They won last week with Colt McCoy at quarterback. Should I also add that?
Crazy to think about.
Okay. So I'll let you get on to your points here.
So, if anybody saw what happened between Buffalo and Jacksonville, and I know I did, I got super pissed. I mean, I have I have some battle scars to.
I cracked the phone. Where's the video? Why didn't Marty record a video?
There's some battle scars there of what happened with that. I don't want to go into full details, but if there's any player that was good, it was Josh Allen.
Yeah. Please elaborate here, because your texts on this document are confusing the fuck out of me right now.
Yeah, okay, so
I'm sober.
If anybody knows, there was a Josh Allen that got drafted, defensive end, number 41 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. When I saw that there was going to be another Josh Allen in the league, I'm like, oh, could you imagine if he went to Buffalo and you had two Josh Allens, one on the offense and one on the defense? Well, let me tell you something. This also Josh Allen that plays defensive end for the Jacksonville Jaguars made Josh Allen's day on the offense a really crappy day. Josh Allen sacked Josh Allen. Josh Allen intercepted Josh Allen. And Josh Allen also made Josh Allen fumble and he recovered it. So, Josh Allen had a really good day. But it ain't the Josh Allen that we all know and love on the Buffalo Bills. It was the Josh Allen, the second-year pro for Jacksonville, that had a better day. And it's safe to say that if it wasn't for him having that kind of day, Buffalo probably would have had a better chance.
Don't you?
But Jacksonville was just overpowered defensively wise. And if there was anything, defense helped Jacksonville win that game. Definitely not their offense. Their offense was... Sorry, not sorry. Trevor Lawrence's
offenses were, though.
Oh, I know. But you know what? You can't really put the blame on Josh Allen. He still had over 200-something yards of offense. Yes, he turned the ball over 3 times, which is,
I'm telling you, that without a doubt made a major dent in his MVP hopes. I mean, big. I mean, you turn the ball over that much in a game, and that ratio is that low between touchdown to turnover. You're really just... I mean, he would have to play lights out, I think, to impress the MVP voters at this point.
And don't be shocked if you see that 5-touchdown type of game against the Jets. Because I'm expecting over 300-something yards. Here's my prediction. I don't know, say like 350 yards and like 4 touchdowns. Because he's done it before.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, the Jets have a better defense than they did a year ago. Don't get me wrong. But, still, I'm probably not going to go too deep into this.
We still got picks to make later.
Next, Jordan Love. Man, you were so close. You were just so close. You could have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. But let me tell you something. You ain't no freaking Aaron Rodgers. You're not ready for the spotlight yet. You're really not. I get it, it's your first start. I get it, you were so good in the preseason. But let me tell you something. The preseason to the regular season don't mean shit. Jordan Love, I think there's a real reason why Aaron Rodgers came back. Because he knows, you ain't ready, son. You ain't. The Packers ain't ready to give his job up to you. Because clearly you haven't proven anything.
Yep. Well, I think that was a given when he was drafted. I mean, everyone had him going early in the first round, but everyone knew he wasn't NFL ready just yet. Okay, so that was the expectation when he was drafted, which is why he went to the right place.
I don't know how you have that kind of game against one of the crappiest defenses in the NFL.
That I will say, that is what's more disappointing here, because you had to give me you were playing guys, outside of Tyrann Mathieu, outside of Chris Jones, who essentially wouldn't even make it on another NFL roster more than likely, because that's just how bad they play this year. Nobody over there fits that system, and just like I said, to me, I could come on here and say that game was a dead giveaway. The reason they lost is because the NFL weaponized COVID. I'm not going to do that because we're not a political network here. And
Right.
no excuses for that, okay? Jordan Love played poorly. That's the reason they lost.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into the whole Rodgers lied thing because, let's face it, everyone has their opinions on it, and we don't need the negative press here. So,
I get it. Like, there wasn't really much game plan you could have had for Jordan Love because it was so late in the week, when it all happened. But you didn't mean to tell me if you're a coach, you couldn't still have had some kind of game plans just in case if something like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a coach, especially with COVID, I would have my backup and my starter still work with the ones just so then they had some chemistry going on. You could clearly see in that game, Devontae Adams and Jordan Love had no chemistry at all. And it's not really Jordan Love's fault. It's more so Devontae Adams because he was just coming back off of the COVID list. He had practice all week long. He was able to really practice with Jordan Love. So it makes you scratch your head and be like, jeez, man. I'm sure it would have been better if they had a little bit more practice time. But in that game, nobody was ready for the Chiefs at all. And this is where I go to my last point. TJ Watt is so far, right now he's proving that he's one worth the money that Pittsburgh is paying him. And I think he's also proving he's a contender for the Defensive Player of the Year because that man is
didn't he win it last year?
I think so, yeah.
Isn't that the reason why he won? I mean, not trying to be smart here, but let's just face it, this is the reason why he's the best guy in the league on defense.
Yeah. TJ Watt just was able to stop Justin Fields. Yeah, there was a lot of questionable calls in that game. I'm not going to go in too far deep into it. But, again, TJ Watt, it's just a force from the defensive end. And there's a reason why Pittsburgh paid him all that money. Because when you can produce and just get to the quarterback and get like 2-3 sacks a game, you're showcasing that you're worth the investment.
Yep. He's a rare kind of player. He's a guy who gets after it. He's a guy who works hard. And let's face it, he's a guy who's not satisfied with where he's at as far as his playing ability goes. He's always getting better. You can't double team him and simply say you've got the game won. So, at the end of the day, he may be the thing that's carrying Pittsburgh, which is really astonishing considering it's very rare to say a defensive player is carrying the team. But let's look at it. Big Ben should have retired years ago.
Right, true.
All right, I think this is a good time to take the anchor break here. When we come back, we'll have our Week 10 predictions. And then, of course, we got Tinkle on this. And also, you can see our Week 2 progress here. Actually, I didn't even check. So we might have a shout-out coming. Let me actually take a look at our No Shave fundraiser. And then when we come back, we'll get to tell you if we have a shout-out. Since I did promise that at the end of last episode. So I do apologize for forgetting about that. But we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Just real quick, we didn't have any new donations yet. Again, check our description, noshave.org/team/the Tinkle group. That's where you can donate to help us raise money and Tinkle on Cancer this month of November. You can see Week 2 progress. I'll actually take off my hat so you can see because obviously this is covering a lot of light, but there we go. I mean, it's getting there. I think you and I are pretty close. Of course, we'll post our progress every Sunday on social media, or at least I will, so we can get all the photos up at once. But yeah, so stay tuned to our social media for that. Anyway, prediction time. We'll start with the Falcons and the Cowboys. The Cowboys an 8.5 favorite.
Yeah. Them boys, man. Gonna go with them boys.
That game against the Broncos was an embarrassment to the Cowboys organization. I'm sorry. That was an embarrassment. And it showed why they are not true Super Bowl contenders.
Oh, shoot. That's what I totally forgot for my takeaways. It was the week of upsets. I forgot about that.
Come on, man. All right. But it's a little late for that now,
Well,
unfortunately.
yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a close match. And if it does come down to a kicker at the end, though, I will say Young Hoku is the one I would take. So, anyway, let's move on here. Saints and Titans. No Alvin Kamara, and the Titans are a 3-point favorite.
I think Tennessee. I would say I would have said Tennessee regardless if they had Kamara or not.
No Jameis, no Kamara, no MT, no excuses because the Titans don't have Derrick Henry. I'm going with the Titans. Anyway, Colts and Jags. Colts are a 10.5 favorite.
I don't know. These two, something about these rivalry games that just get to me. But Carson Wentz, man, why? I know, football first. Football runs in your blood, but sometimes you gotta think more about family time more than, playing football. I'll say that now. But I will say the Colts are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And what better way to celebrate a win with the birth of your second child, maybe?
Hey, there you go. I want so badly to go with Jacksonville, but I'm telling you, they're going to make it a game. But the problem is the Colts are rolling. The Jags have not won on the road yet this year, unless you do count London.
No, that would be considered a home game for them, so...
That would actually be considered a neutral site, but, I digress. Colts have won twice at home. Again, they're rolling. Jonathan Taylor is proving that he's just as good of a back in that division. So I'm going to say Colts. He's actually making Carson Wentz's life a lot easier. So, Browns and Patriots. Patriots are 2.5 favorite.
Well, seeing that Chubb is going to be out and their other running back there, doesn't look very promising for the Cleveland Browns. So I'm going to go with the New England Patriots. I think they got it rolling right now. It sucks, to say that as a Bills fan, but Mac Jones just has that willpower, and I think he's really riding that storm.
I'm going to go with the Patriots here. Again, like you said, they're rolling. They beat the Chargers. They beat whoever they played last week. I forget. I think it might have been the Bengals. But
no, Bengals played up against the Browns.
Okay. Then I'm lost. But either way, Patriots are going to win, I think. Yeah, Mac Jones is starting to get it together. And dare I say that he just might be the offensive rookie of the year to this point in the year. Just thought I'd throw that out there. He's leading every category as far as offensive rookie quarterbacks, as far as rookie quarterbacks go. So, again, and plus the Patriots are uncharacteristically 1-4 at home. They're going to turn that around very quick. Bills and Jets. Bills are 12.5 favorite. I already think I know your pick here based on how we've been talking. But dare I also add the Jets are 2-1 at home right now? I know that's not going to change your mind, but...
No, because Buffalo's had the Jets numbers, for quite a good amount of years. There was a reason why Buffalo went undefeated against their own division last year, and it's going to showcase this year. I want to say Buffalo's got something to prove in this game. Yeah, winning this game ain't going to mean anything, but it's going to help them out keeping the division lead. So that's all that matters really at the end, is if you can win your division, because that guarantees you a playoff spot. So I think Buffalo's going to go into New Jersey and be up on the Jets.
I think this game's going to be close. I'm not going to lie to you. Mike White, here's where Captain Obvious is going to come in. Mike White gives the Jets the best chance to win on any given Sunday. Okay?
And do we know if he's starting?
He is starting. It was announced already. You can dispute this, but he gives them a chance to win on any given Sunday compared to any other quarterback on this roster. He's got a good energy to him. He's got a good amount of confidence. In fact, this week he said he should have been a number 1 overall pick. To add to the fact that he tweeted on Twitter when he was in high school saying that he was coming for Peyton Manning's records. Not that has anything to do with it. But I will say, though, the fact that he has this level of confidence and that he's playing well just tells me that the Jets might just make this one interesting. I'm going to say, though, still 24-14, but I think the Bills are going to win.
I'm just going to say this now. You can only ride that wave as much as you can, but... Okay, so when he threw when he had that 405-yard game, do you remember who it was against? Was it against a good team or a bad team?
It was against Cincy, when Cincy was considered a strong team. It was week 8 for sure.
I want to see if he can prove himself. I want to see if he can prove himself against one of the league's best defenses.
Yeah. Who,
by the way, Buffalo has not given up. They've given up quite a lot of points. Don't get me wrong, but their average is like 15.6 points per game to opposing offenses. So I want to see Mike White trying to see if he can put up 400 and something yards.
I'm telling you though, one thing's for certain. Mike White's career is looking a lot like Gardner Minshew's. Okay? I just want to throw that out there and hear me out here. Mike White is a guy who no one ever thought he would make it anywhere in this league.
Right.
And just look at where he's gone. He entered his first NFL start, no snaps, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then he was... you could argue on his way to that if he had played in the full Thursday night game a week ago. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So,
true.
Again, I think very well, Mike White gives him the best chance for success right now. Now, that's not to say that Zach Wilson should lose his job. Zach Wilson, he will get better. But for right now, in the present moment... it is Mike White that gives them the best chance to win. Anyway, let's move forward here. Lions and Steelers. Steelers are an 8-point favorite. Believe it or not, it's only 8.
It makes you wonder when Detroit's actually going to win their first game. I don't think it's going to come against Pittsburgh.
I think
Pittsburgh's going to win this game.
No argument, no explanation. Pittsburgh. Anyway, Bucks and the Washington football team, the rematch from the divisional round game last year. Bucks are a 9.5 favorite.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bucks. Taylor Heineke just has not found his mark this year at all.
I said at the beginning of the year that Heineke gave the football team the best chance to win. I retract that statement. I might have said this last week, but I retract that statement. I will tell you, I think he makes it interesting because the Bucs defense isn't what it was last year. And of course, no Gronk and no AB adds to it, but Bucs win. Panthers and Cardinals. Cardinals are a 10.5 favorite. And by the way, can we just say welcome back to Cam Newton to Carolina?
Right.
Something I didn't expect to happen there.
I think they're giving way too much credit to Carolina. This is going to be a blowout. PJ Walker is going to be starting, and he absolutely sucks.
PJ Walker is not the best in terms of NFL quarterbacks, but I will say, based on the XFL, he did earn his right to come back in.
Oh yeah, true. Of course, I'm not saying that he didn't, but Arizona is just a good team all around, and I hate to say it, Carolina, you're gonna be wishing you wouldn't have had to go up against Arizona. So I'm going Arizona, and I think that it's just gonna be an absolute blowout.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree there. PJ Walker's going against a great defense, and I did read into the sack leaders. And there's an unexpected one from Arizona that's in the top 3 in sacks right now. So, I don't remember his name, but yeah, we'll just move forward here. Vikings and Chargers. Chargers are a 3-point favorite. By the way, I did read somewhere, there's a rumor that this game could solidify Mike Zimmer's future in Minnesota. It could make or break his future there.
This one's, I don't know. I definitely want to go with the Chargers, but also part of me wants to go with the Vikings. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Vikings, and I think that Mike Zimmer, bye. Your tenure in Minnesota is going to be over with.
I gave him credit early on, but now he's in a division where the Packers are just steamrolling everybody. Forget last week. Last week was a fluke because it was Jordan Love, but let's face it, he probably should have been gone after last year. So I'm going to go Chargers. But I will say this game is going to be insanely close. And another one where I'm going to be sitting there looking at the screen kind of cringing. Eagles and Broncos. Broncos are a 1.5 favorite.
Wow. Denver, after that win against the Cowboys last week, I think they found something that could help them build some momentum. I want to go Denver over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to lead toward the Broncos here. It seems to me they can beat up on teams that are not very good. And the Eagles qualify as a not-so-good team right now. Anyway, Seahawks and Packers. Packers are 3.5 favorite. It is expected that Aaron Rodgers will play on Sunday, to my knowledge.
Yeah, he's supposed to be back from the COVID list. Yeah, Russell Wilson is also coming off of IR for the first time, too. So, I'm gonna go with the Packers because I just don't think that Russell Wilson is going to have that impactful game, especially coming back from not really being able to throw the football like much at all because of that finger. So I really do think that's going to be impactful in this game. But if you were to tell me Seattle starting off season was going to go 3-5 after the impressive start that they had last year, I would have told you you're a freaking idiot.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. I think Seattle's got something to prove in this game. To be honest, I'm going to deflect from you here. I think the Seahawks win this because Aaron Rodgers hasn't participated in practice all week because he's been out with COVID. It's going to take him at least a good quarter or two to get up to speed, I think, because even though I'm sure he's been FaceTiming with the team trying to get info, catching up on the game plan, he hasn't been out there executing it. He may very well come out strong, but I just don't know. I think this is a game they're going to come out of the gate slow, and it might be just hard for them to get back into it. So I'm going to lean toward the Seahawks. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs, Raiders, Kansas City a 2.5 favorite.
This one's... I don't know. I want to go Kansas City, and then I also want to go Raiders. I'm going to go with my gut instinct. I'm going to say Kansas City, but don't be shocked. And you're going to hear now. Don't be shocked if the Raiders pull up. I wouldn't even call it an upset. I would just say don't be shocked if they just come out with a win here. Especially in Las Vegas.
Last year, this was an upset. Last year, when they beat Kansas City, it was an upset. Plain and simple. I don't care how good Las Vegas was then. It was an upset. Okay. This is two evenly matched teams. The Raiders, no doubt, have a chip on their shoulder because they've been in the national news for the last few months. 2 first-round picks from 2020 behind bars right now or released for misconduct. You've got a coach who was fired for saying the N-word on top of very homophobic emails, which, by the way, he's suing the NFL, but we will steer away from that story again. That's more news headlines now. But I'm going to go with the Raiders because I think they've got more to prove than Kansas City. I think these are two teams that got a lot to prove at this point in the year because neither of them, to me, stand out. But actually, I'm sorry. For two different reasons, those two teams have to prove something. For one, the Raiders have to get their reputation back up with the fan base in the NFL. And for the Chiefs, they've got to get their Super Bowl relevancy back up. Because right now, they're a mid-tier team. They're probably a one-and-done team at this point. But I think the Raiders prove more at the end of the day. Anyway, Rams 49ers, Monday Night Football. The Rams are undefeated on the road, and the 49ers have not won at home. Rams are 3.5 favorite.
These two teams always play each other really tough. So don't expect, definitely expect this to be a, pretty close game. I can see why they say 3.5, for a point. I think it's going to be really close. But I think the Rams, and it should be Von Miller's debut as a Ram, by the way, too.
Yep, I'm going to go Rams. I think Von Miller adds, a different level of leadership to this team. And now it's not just going to be enough to block Aaron Donald there. And on top of it, Stafford's got something to prove. By the way, Stafford is an underlooked person in this MVP race, should I add. But they've got to have an answer for Cooper Kupp. I just don't think San Fran has an answer for Cooper Kupp, let alone Robert Woods, let alone Tyler Higbee. Because of that, I'm going to give the edge to the Rams. But I will say it's going to be a close game. We do have to skip ahead to Thursday night, Week 11. That matchup, Patriots and Falcons. Patriots are undefeated on the road and a 4-point favorite. Patriots all day. So I guess that solidifies our picks for the week. So let's move on to Tinkle on this. So if you caught the Thursday night football broadcast, Troy Aikman has said in the past, with Dak Prescott, he starts to come and then he pulls out. Of course, referring to the pocket. But you know how fans are with the dirty minds. Well, Troy Aikman gave another reason for fans to shake their head and think dirty. So Joshua Bynes, he was having a good game. And of course, Troy Aikman's comment on it, he's been coming all night. I'm assuming referring to the pressure on the quarterback. He's been coming all night and he starts to pull out. So I'm assuming that means he's going out in coverage. I hope I got that right. You know, Troy, do you have any other references to explain all this? Come on, find something new. You're starting to become like Collinsworth, except you're becoming perverted. Okay? You know, this is football, damn it. This is a family show. And for that, Troy Aikman, tinkle on this, my friend.
Yeah, just please learn how to be an actual commentator.
Learn to be a commentator or go to Pornhub and become a commentator on that.
Oh, God.
Okay, so tinkle on this, Troy Aikman. That wraps up the show. We want to thank you guys for watching. We will be back here next Sunday, same time, same channel. Leading up to Thanksgiving next week. So we got a lot of games to predict next week. This should be fun.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, hopefully we'll have a really good week in football. But until next Sunday, guys, goodbye, everyone.